What's going on, everybody? Back with another video, and today, day one of Warzone Mobile is now officially in the books. And let's talk about it, man. My first experience of it, we're gonna have some gameplay in the background talking about it. For me personally, I really enjoyed the game. The idea of being able to play, honestly, it's Warzone Mobile, but realistically, it's Modern Warfare Mobile, and being able to play Modern Warfare on the go is a lot of fun, and I think it's super dope, and I can't wait to like really test it out in the world. Um, I streamed it. Hopefully, at the time of recording this yesterday morning on my iPad Pro, and for most of my comments about this is going to be either on my iPad Pro or my iPhone 15 Pro Max. Those are the two devices that I use. Let's go over the pros and let's go over the cons, because I think overall, from what I've seen, I'm seeing it get hit with a lot of cons, and some are granted warranted, and I think some are not necessary. So first thing first, gameplay. Man, it's like you took Modern Warfare 2 and just slapped it in your phone, man. Um, Gameplay feels good. Gunplay feels good. Um, Especially in going into the war zone perspective, like Verdansk, if you miss playing there, if you feel right at home. For me, it was like I love Rebirth more than Verdansk, so playing that game mode was a lot of fun. Brought back a lot of good memories. Fighting in those familiar spots just always seemed, I don't know, it always brings back like a good feeling, a good vibe to it. So I truly enjoyed that aspect. One thing I think that may get overshadowed, but I still think it's really fun, really a dope idea, and a good, not a dope idea, but just a good feature is, hey, being able to play this, and I'm working towards my Modern Warfare 3 Battle Pass is chef's kiss. Um, Love that I'm able to, while I'm streaming, or in the course in real world scenarios, I'm out and about, I'm getting some games in. Hey, I'm also working on the Battle Pass, right? Um, I think that is dope. What else? Controller support. For some people like to play touch, I get that. Most people that I think is going to be playing this game is coming from consoles, or main input is controller. So the fact that if you want to plug up a controller via Bluetooth, it works, hardwired it in. You want to use a controller like the Kishi, the Backbone, or the GameSir or whatever, and they said, "Hey, we are supporting a wide variety of controllers." I think it's a big plus. I've always been on the standpoint of, hey, a what's what I'm looking for? A mobile game, just a game in general. You want to be able to be comfortable playing it, and if you have an input choice that you're used to and you're able to play it, I think it's nothing but plus, right? I know people feel, a way about that, and we'll get into that a little bit later. I'm trying to think what else other pros that we have. Because again, it's only been out for a day, so it's not a super deep dive review. This is just like legit my first impressions. Um, Funny enough, the graphics not the best, but honestly, they're not the worst either. They're actually, like, for all that game's probably processing, is super solid. So I'm gonna put that like at the middle. But like I like the graphics. I think it's definitely an improvement from how the past builds used to be. Cons. Game needs to be optimized. Like like I said, I have high end devices. I don't think any device right now could probably play peak and uncap. Like, I think that's the crisis mode for this game of, like, yo, this is gonna be the benchmark of, like, it run this, and if so, how smooth can it run? I think that's kind of like the big what's what I'm looking for. Like, that's the benchmark. That's the big test. But in the chat, I've seen in Reddit posts as well, people are talking about the devices that they have is not running as smooth. So I try to keep that in mind with first impressions. For me, on my iPad, I ran everything at, what was it? High 60. And I got a smooth experience. no issues whatsoever, right? Um, I had a moment when I was trying to record my content on my phone to my stream at high 60, and I ran into some issues. But again, you just dropped it down a tick to, I dropped it down to 45, was fine again. So, you know what I mean? Just as long as you are able to tweak your settings and be able, and you play with your settings enough, I'm pretty sure you're gonna find a solution that works best for you. But the game does need some optimizations. Again, it's some stuff like it's still chugged. But again, first day out, so I'm not holding it to the fire like I think a lot of people are. Um, Other cons, I think this is a more of a me thing. For private matches, you're able to run with. You could do BRs. You could do the rebirth for Donsk. You can do solos, trios, all that stuff. You can't run multiplayer private matches, which I think makes more sense because the minimum requirement that they're asking for is 25 players. Now, again, I don't know about y'all, but I ain't got 24 other folks just to run with, you know, drop of a dime. I don't. Now again, unless you a streamer, you got a good community, and you set up a game night, cool. But outside of that, I can see more likely, hey, you're gonna be running this with your friends. Why not a multiplayer where you can do 12 players, and you can run with your squad in them? To me, that makes more sense. And for me, a mobile game, I think you're gonna be out and about more. You're gonna be more in the social settings. Hey, you and your friends are together. Hey, let's run a quick little custom match. I think that'd be more fun. Hey, imagine you at work, right? You're on lunch break. Everybody talking cash money, and it's like, hey, y'all think y'all really cold? Let's run a quick custom real quick. I think that's fire, but it doesn't have right now. But again, that's something that they can add later on. So I'm just upset it's not in the main game. Other cons, honestly, to me, I think that's about it. I think outside, again, I've seen a lot of people already so far already talking about the game is going to be dead, optimization, this, that, and the fourth. I don't think that's the issue. My next video is going to talk about. I think a lot of people are misdiagnosing their issue with the game. Like they're thinking it's lagging. I think they're putting their frame rate up too high. So I think that will be like something I'll do tomorrow's video is going more in deep dive into that. But the game does need optimization. But I don't think it's as bad as people are making it seem. And again, mind you, look at the devices I'm playing on. So I understand. I try to be balanced. I understand both sentiments. But with that being said, someone that's played games, like understand, especially live service games that continually come out with updates and patches. I don't think is it in the bad spot. No, like this is gonna be again. It's gonna be here for a while. This is not gonna be the case. It shouldn't be, right? Like I guess like they're gonna come out with updates, they're gonna come out with patches to help better optimize, better stabilize it, help work on lower tier devices and stuff like that. But I will say this, off first glimpse from what I'm seeing, I will say I don't think this is going to be for um in the beginning lower end devices. No, I think you're gonna have to have a higher end flagship type phone to run this game. But again, if you're looking at like console level stuff. Like you're looking at a game that like is a console level game. Yeah, no, it's not gonna run on your phone. Think about it: as Modern Warfare 2 and 3 do not run on the Switch. That's for a reason. The Switch is not strong enough to run that. Hey, your grandmama phone ain't finna run Modern Warfare on Warzone Mobile. It's not, you know what I mean, unless you got a 15 or you know what I mean, or even like a 14, stuff like that. Just you know what I mean. So, and it's kind of cool because if you've been on console, you've been kind of thinking about getting into PC. This is kind of like a baby step because again, you got to kind of tweak with your graphics. You got to tweak your settings, kind of find the sweet spot. That's what all it is with PC gaming. But not to get too off track and not to make the video too long. First impressions, man. I think the game is a lot of fun. I think it has a lot of potential. Um, I think it follows the footsteps of COD Mobile that came out in 2018. The footsteps of, hey, this game right here, whether you like it or not, this is going to be the standard. This is going to be the bar for mobile gaming. If whether you agree or not, other developers already are making moves around what Warzone Mobile does. So I hope, even not just for necessarily the success of this game, I hope it does great. But even just for the success of other games, I want this game to do good, and I think it's gonna do good too, man. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's gonna blow numbers out the water. I think it's gonna do really well. But hey, man, let me know in the comment sections below a couple of things. Of course, how you're enjoying the game so far after the first day. What device you're playing on? What what device you're playing on? What platform, of course, too, in the same sense. What settings are you running, and what issues are you running into? And I want to try to tackle that hopefully on my next video. But I appreciate y'all, man. Hope you enjoy. Catch y'all next one. Much love. Peace.